Patty, I wanted to be sure that we were on YouTube. Patty?
We're on, Judge.
Okay, thanks.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. For the record, I have before me both the state's and defense consent to video conference. So all parties, including the defendant, have no objection to proceeding versus on video conference. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
All right. And do you have any objection to it, Mr. Cochran?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Also, there is the discovery acknowledgement. Counsel, did you receive all the discovery that you needed?
I did.
All right, very well. All right, then, Mr. Cochran, you stand charged by way of information with the offense of driving while intoxicated. The range of punishment for that offense is up to a $2,000 fine and up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You have several rights. You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to require the state to bring their witnesses in and prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have your attorney cross-examine those witnesses, and you have the right against self-incrimination, which means that no one can force you to testify against yourself. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
They are contained in the court's admonishments. Did your attorney go over your paperwork with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did he explain your rights to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand that when you signed the paperwork that the effect of your signature was that you were giving up the rights that I've just gone over with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then I'll approve this waiver and order it entered into the record of the cause. Attached to the court's admonishment is the plea bargain page and indicates that you have entered into a plea agreement with the state. I need you to know, first of all, that the court does not have to follow the agreement, but if the court chooses not to, then you can withdraw your plea, start all over, and nothing that you've done so far can be used against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, if the court does follow the plea agreement, then you will not have the right to appeal except for any pretrial matters that have been ruled on by the court. And counsel, were there any rulings on any pretrial motions?
No, Your Honor.
So that means that if the court follows the agreement, you will not have the right to appeal unless the court gives permission, but generally the court will not give permission. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State, would you mind setting out what the terms of the plea agreement were?
Yes, Judge. The agreement was a $250 probated fine plus court costs, 12 months deferred adjudication, 48 community service hours, DWI education, victim impact panel, a DOEP, TAP evaluation, and ignition interlock for half the term.
Counsel, was that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, it was.
And Mr. Cochran, was that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Since you're applying for a deferred adjudication, there are a couple of things that you need to understand about deferred. First of all, if the court grants it, then you're placed on community supervision without being found guilty of the offense. If you comply with all the conditions of your deferred and you don't pick up any new offenses while you're on deferred adjudication, then at the end of the supervisory period, you would not show a conviction for the offense. So that is the benefit of deferred adjudication. The downside of deferred is that if the court grants it, but then you fail to comply with your conditions, or if you commit new offenses while you're on deferred adjudication, at that point, the state could file a motion to enter an adjudication of guilt. You would be brought back to court. You would be entitled to a hearing. If the court were to find that you had violated your conditions or that you had committed new offenses while you were on deferred, the court could at that time enter a finding of guilt on this case. You would then become subject to the full range of punishment, which means that you could receive up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Do you understand how that works?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understanding that, then, do you still wish to apply for deferred adjudication?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If you were not a citizen of the United States by entering a plea of guilty or no contest, It could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to this country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Have those immigration consequences been explained to you by your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to consult with you and assist you in his defense?
Yes, he has.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as rational understanding of the charge and the proceedings against him?
He does.
And in your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and to enter a plea at this time?
Yes.
Mr. Cochran, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead?
No contest.
Have you been promised anything other than the terms of the plea agreement to get you to enter your no contest plea?
No, ma'am.
Have you been threatened or coerced in any way to get you to enter your plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading no contest because after conferring with your attorney, you've decided that it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then I'll accept the no contest plea. Based on your plea, I'm going to find that the evidence is sufficient. I'm not going to make any other findings at this time. Are both sides ready to proceed to sentencing?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cochran, I'll follow the plea agreement that you've entered into with the state and assess punishment at a $250 fine. That will be probated for as long as you are complying with the conditions of your probation, plus court costs, 12 months deferred adjudication, 48 hours of community service, the DWI education course, the victim impact panel, the DOEP course, a TAP evaluation, and you are to follow their recommendations, ignition interlock for half the term. Is there anything further from either side?
Yeah, one matter about the condition for the ignition interlock. Certainly, we agreed to that, and he's agreeable to that. However, I make exception that it should be statutorily required because I don't believe this is a 0.15 or higher, or that he has any prior DWIs, and he's not on the ignition interlock as a condition of his bond. So I didn't understand why that was imposed or at least recommended by the state.
You have conferred with the state and that was part of the plea agreement?
Well, I think yes.
All right, so what is it then? What is your request now that you don't want to go along with, or state, do you have anything to say about that?
Judge, I would just like to add that it's my understanding of the agreement that the ignition interlock is a part of the conditions.
I mean, Jonathan, you want to do the ignition interlock program? Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with all terms.
Okay.
All right, very well. Good luck to you, Mr. Cochran.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.